What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So I've been really excited and eager to make today's video because today we're going to be installing this new to me Stromung Catback exhaust system on my E36 M3. So the reason we're replacing this, or installing this rather, is for a couple different reasons. One, the car currently has a thrown together Dinan Catback, and I'll explain what that means in a second, but it's really loud. It's a lot louder than I anticipated a Dinan system to sound like. I was always under the impression that Dinan was supposed to be kind of the in-between between OEM and the more aggressive sounding exhausts. And this one sounds exactly like what a muffler deleted E36 sounds like, at least to me. And so I have a suspicion that maybe this muffler has been gutted at some point in its life. That, or I just am unfamiliar with what these Dinan exhausts are supposed to sound like on E36s. But either way, it's really loud. And normally that wouldn't matter, but I live in California and we have really strict exhaust laws. And in the last couple of years, they've gotten more strict with modifying the way your exhaust sounds. And with how loud this is, I just don't have the time or the patience to want to be bugged by the cops. And so I wanted to install another exhaust system to keep it a little rowdy, keep it a little louder than OEM, but also more tame so I'm not bugged with all the time. Now, the other reason why we're replacing this is because I mentioned a second ago about how this is a thrown together exhaust. If you look here, the tips hang pretty low, like they're not sitting flush the way they're supposed to be. And it's because, if you look over there, that would be the stock M3 muffler that was cut off, and this was welded in its place, which means that this isn't a full Dinan Catback. It's just a Dinan muffler that was cut at some point and then welded into here, and it wasn't welded in proper, I guess. It wasn't welded in the way it was supposed to be, so it hangs really low, and on top of that, it makes contact with this diffuser here. And so, along with the Stromung Catback, I also purchased all brand new exhaust hangers. And so I'm hoping to kind of take care of that issue as well as the sound issue. So with that, I got to get the car off the ground. I got to get the rear end off the ground. I got to get this diffuser off and out of the way. And then we can start tackling trying to get this Dinan Catback off and start getting this installed. So with that, let's hop right into it. You know, it's kind of funny. I've owned now 4 E36s over the course of maybe 8 or 9 years, and this is straight up the first time I've ever used one of these. I've never owned one in any of my E36s, and this is revolutionary, man. This is definitely the way to do this. So I want to take a second and shamelessly ask that if you're enjoying this content, if you can consider subscribing, liking, and commenting on this video. It lets not only me know, but it lets YouTube know that people enjoy this type of content, and it makes videos like this possible. So it's free. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. All right, the diffuser is off, and to be honest, you guys, I'm kind of digging how this looks. I've always been a fan of these diffusers, but like I said, dude, this diffuser is it's pretty aggressive, honestly. Like, I like diffusers on these cars, but this particular diffuser, I don't know what brand it is, but it's pretty aggressive. And maybe in the meantime, I might run it without it. I don't know, we'll see. I might try to mock it up and see if it like still makes contact with this new system over here, but for now it looks good, man. I'm really stoked with how the rear end of this car looks with the new wing and, you know, no diffuser, but we'll see how it looks with all this. Good little tip too, put a spare tire if you have one underneath your car. It might save your life if these ever give out. So, you know, just looking out for the fam. Nah, but put one of those under there for real. I love working under cars like this. This is my favorite. I never want to lift in my life. Gratitude. But this does suck. Actually, before we toss this in, I do kind of want to compare these two side to side. I'm kind of interested. I'm not familiar with what like Dinan exhausts are supposed to look like, but maybe someone can let me know in the comments, is this like a one-off Dinan muffler? Like, you know, did someone weld these tips onto like whatever this is? Like, I don't know, man, but you know, this one looks a lot smaller and cleaner of a setup. This just looks like big and bulky, and obviously this like janky little like exhaust hanger mount or whatever like wasn't doing a good job. But one thing I am really excited for, I don't know if you could really see it on camera, but if you put the tips next to each other, these tips are pretty big compared to these tips. Like, these are gonna fit the gap in the diffuser right there like way better than these did, especially considering I have all new exhaust hangers. It's gonna sit also higher up in there, so it's gonna tuck in really nice. I'm excited for that. Yeah, so actually before I toss this in, I'm not gonna film a lot of it, but I do want to clean this up while it's out of the car, because I don't plan to drop this again to clean it. So I'm gonna clean this up, kind of get this looking pretty good, and then we'll go ahead and toss it in the car and see what it sounds like. All right, the exhaust tips are all polished up and cleaned up. You can see the lettering again. It's kind of rough lighting dark in the garage like this, but it is ready to go back in the car. And unfortunately, I've kind of run out of light, so I'm gonna go ahead and just like toss this in and then maybe grab clips, you know, when I have more light out or whatever. But for you guys, that'll be next clip. For me, I'm just gonna toss this in and kind of see what it sounds like, and then we will get good drive-by clips after the fact. I almost forgot to mention that I had ordered these as well, and as you can see, look how stretched out and just old and like worn these ones are compared to new ones. So I'm really stoked to have bought these. I'm gonna have like pretty much fresh rubber, like all of the hangers for the exhaust, so this should fit really good. So I'm gonna replace these, and then we can get to tossing this in the car. All right, it's a couple days later. I didn't have a chance to film anything because when I finished installing the exhaust, it was pretty late at night and I wanted to get a couple driving clips, but it's a couple days later now. It's a whole haircut later, but yeah, man, the exhaust is on. It sounds amazing. I'm super hyped on it. It's exactly what I was looking for. I don't have to feel worried that I'm gonna get bugged by the cops. It sounds really crisp, it sounds really clean, and when you get on it, it sounds really good. So I'm super hyped on it. Hopefully you guys are hyped on it. I think I'll probably make a dedicated like exhaust video, like my Dinan exhaust video, where just no talking, just, you know, wide open throttle pulls and like first, second, third pulls and stuff. I think I'll make a whole video because I didn't really get a lot of good clips this time around, but either way, I'm stoked on it. I'm excited to get that video going for you guys, and hopefully if you were considering picking one up yourself, now this kind of seals the deal for you. So with that, I'm gonna call this one wrapped up. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.